Baseball is full of almosts, what-ifs, and could-have-beens, but few stories touch the heart quite like that of Tony Conigliaro. How good was Tony Conigliaro, actually? Let's go back to the start. It was April 1964. Every team in the American League had just seen the newest kid on the block. At 22 years old, he became the youngest player in AL history to hit 100 home runs. One pitch later, it all came crashing down. This was the story of Tony Conigliaro, the kid who was going to be a star. Coming from the working-class Italian-American neighborhood of North End, Revere, Massachusetts, baseball was more than a sport for young Anthony. It was a dream. And as a local boy who made it to Fenway Park, he embodied the hopes and struggles of many blue-collar Bostonians. From the time he was 5, when his father first threw him a baseball, it was evident that Tony had something special: raw power and charisma, a combination that hinted at the greatness that was to come. As he progressed through the minor leagues, scouts and fans alike began to take notice. By 1964, he was on the cusp of stardom. On April 1964, Tony made his debut for the Red Sox at Fenway Park. The crowd roared as he stepped up to bat for the first time. Little did they know this was just the beginning. In that same game, he hit his first major league home run. And just like that, Fenway Park erupted. The legend of Tony C was born. The following year, at just 20 years old, he led the AL in home runs, and by 1967, he was an all-star. On September 1967, he hit his 100th home run before his 23rd birthday, joining the elite company of Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays. Each time he swung the bat, Fenway was electrified. For Boston, it seemed destiny had arrived. Finally, after Ted Williams, the Red Sox had a new legend in the making. But fate had a cruel twist in store. August 1967, everything changed. In the 6th inning of a game against the Angels, Tony was struck in the face by a pitch from Jack Hamilton. The crack of the bat echoed in the stadium, but it wasn't the sound of a home run. The world seemed to stop as Tony collapsed to the ground. A broken cheekbone and jaw, plus severe damage to his right eye, threatened not just his career, but his life. Doctors worked tirelessly to reconstruct his face, but the damage to his eye was irreparable. As Tony lay in the hospital bed, the baseball world held its breath. Could he make a comeback? Would he ever be the same? After 18 months and countless surgeries, Tony returned to the field in 1969. Against all odds, he not only played, but he hit 36 home runs and drove in 116 runs in 1970. It seemed like a miracle, but the joy was short-lived. In 1970, Tony played his last game at 26. Vision problems forced his retirement, but his story doesn't end there. The cruel hand of fate dealt him one final blow later in life. At 37, Tony suffered a heart attack and a stroke, which left him partially paralyzed. On August 3, 1990, at the age of 45, Tony passed away. Looking back, the numbers, 166 home runs, 501 RBIs, and a 264 average don't do justice to the story of Tony Conigliaro. He was more than a great hitter. He was a hometown hero who embodied resilience, courage, and ultimately heartbreak. As we remember Tony, let's take a moment to appreciate the spirit of baseball that he represented. What part of Tony's story moved you the most? His rise to fame, his comeback, or his tragic downfall? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep alive the spirit of baseball. Thanks for watching. See you next time.